The performance of mutual funds can be evaluated in a number of ways. We will start with the simplest way in which you calculate what is the value of each unit of mutual fund held by you. So that would be through the calculation of the net asset value of the unit held by you. So the NAV, or the net asset value of the unit of mutual fund held by you, is simply speaking the market value or the value you will be getting if today that mutual fund scheme is wound up. So if you exit from the scheme, or if the scheme closes, what is the worth you will get for each unit of mutual fund held by you? That is reflected by the net asset value, and as the name suggests, it is the value of the assets held by the mutual fund. So, and proportionate to the holding you have in that mutual fund scheme. So it is calculated as the net value of assets held divided by number of units issued. Number of units issued under the mutual fund scheme. And how are the net assets calculated? It would be the market value. So this term is nothing but the market value of the investments, any receivables under the scheme, any accrued income. So income which is due but has not yet been received, minus outstanding liabilities. So any outstanding expenses which are relevant to the mutual fund you have subscribed to. There are any outstanding expenses, administrative expenses, operating expenses at the end of the year, then those are deducted from the market value of the assets held, and you get the net value of assets held, which is then divided by the number of units issued. So this is how you calculate the net asset value per unit of the mutual fund. So let's move to some questions on the same, and the concept will make more sense. So I'll first take up questions on net asset value. Okay. So this is the first question which we take up. You have to find the NAV per unit of mutual fund from the information given. The size of the scheme, that is the value worth of the scheme, is the money raised at the time of launch of the scheme is 10 lakh, and the face value of each unit is rupees 10, which means that the number of units issued under the mutual fund is 1 lakh. You're given the market value of investments 18 lakh, bills receivable 20,000, and liabilities 10,000. So simply speaking, everything is directly given in the question, and you need to calculate the NAV per unit. So NAV would be market value of investments plus bills receivable minus the liabilities divided by number of units. Everything is given directly here. So 18 lakh 20,000 So 18 lakh plus 20,000 minus 10,000 divided by 10 lakh. So 18.1, sorry, 1.81 per unit rupees. So this is how you write the value of the NAV in terms of per unit of holding. So you are getting the value as 1.81. Okay, sorry, the number of units are 1 lakh. So this would be 18.1 and not 8.1. 18.1 per unit is the net asset value of the mutual fund. So this is how you apply this formula. Let's take up another question for practice. So this is the second question, same method. You simply need to apply the formula. So please start solving the question and put your answer in the chat box. If there are any questions, you can ask side by side. Okay, others also share the answer you're getting.
Ma'am, can you show the question?
What, Diva, I didn't get you.
Ma'am, can you show the example one?
Yes, sure. Display side by side. So which means only one of you has solved the question. What about others? Yes, Unnati, unmute yourself. Unnati,
Yes, ma'am.
have you solved the question?
Yes, ma'am.
How much is the value coming to?
Ma'am, one sec. 1.81.
1.81.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, Madhav is also getting the same value. 1.81. So, number of units outstanding class are 10 lakh. I believe that the value should be 18.1. Are you taking the number of units as 10 lakh? Yes, so that would be 18.1. So, it's okay. So, in the numerator, when we are taking the net value of the assets held, you will be adding all the investments plus the receivables. So the first three terms, so 182 lakh minus 1 lakh, because 1 lakh is the outstanding liabilities which the mutual fund owes. तो आदित्य 1 लाख आपने डिडक्ट करना है, तब आपके पास न्यूमरेटर की वैल्यू आएगी एंड यू डिवाइड इट सिंपली बाय 10 लाख एंड यू गेट rupees 18.1 per unit as the net asset value. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's take up another question. So, this is another question. Please read it carefully. You are given the current market value of the debentures and equity shares. Debentures are trading 10%, debentures are trading at 90% of their value, while the equity shares are trading at 120%. So you need to consider the current market value when calculating the NAV per unit. Chart solving. Post your answers in the chat box. So yes, I'll upload all the lectures. I'll try uploading them today, else by tomorrow. All the lectures held till now will be uploaded. Okay, so yes, what's the answer coming to? One thing that needs to be considered is whenever you see the market value of an investment made, it is always over the face value. So 10% debentures are trading at 10 lakh. एज सच आपको डिबेंचर्स की फेस वैल्यू नहीं दी हुई तो आप डायरेक्टली जब वैल्यू ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो यू टेक दिस वैल्यू एट 90%. So today when we are making the calculations, the market value of debentures is 9 lakh rupees. On the other hand, for equity shares, you are given the face value of each share. So when we calculate and compare the fluctuation, it is always over the face value. तो 100 रुपीज की जो फेस वैल्यू थी आज की डेट में face value of each share has risen to 120. So here directly you will get the value of equity shares as 12 lakh rupees. So whenever there is a fluctuation, we consider the face value and accordingly calculate the market value of the investment made. So yes, how much is the NAV coming to? Yes, Sana. Okay, one person has calculated, Himanshu has calculated as 10.5, 10.2. Others. Sana, have you completed the solution? Or you're not here? Parsh? Hmm? I didn't get you. Don't be in a hurry to mute yourself. Unmute, switch on the camera. So if you're sitting in this class, be ready to switch on the cameras. Yes, fast. Tell me, how much is the NAV coming to?
I am calculating.
Why? Why is it taking so much time? Hmm? Karan? There is no compulsion of attending the classes. It's still going as per your choice. If you're not interested, there's no point of just logging in and sitting ideally in the class or moving away from the screen. Yes, Pratham.
My answer came out to be 10%.
Came out
Either
to be
10.2.
10%. How?
Whatever.
How?
Ma'am, I added the amount of investments, which is 9 lakh and 22 lakh. No, 22
lakh.
12 lakh, 12 lakh, sorry, 12 lakh.
So
Then I deducted 1 lakh for accrued expenses and then divided it by 2 lakh.
what about the cash and bank balance which the
Ma'am, I have doubt in
companies
that.
put?
Cash or bank balance, bill receivables only.
रिसीवेबल्स क्या आपकी होल्डिंग ही है, एसेट कैश भी
इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के तौर पे
एसेट
माना
है।
जाए।
हाँ, तो ये दोनों भी आप ऐड करोगे।
ओके
Bank balance and cash balance both are being held by the mutual fund. So say it is still looking for some better investment, तो 4 lakh rupees liquid cash रखा हुआ है, and even bank balance would be counted as an investment. So you need to add this 6 lakh to the 21 lakh you have calculated. So 27 lakh the number of units minus 1 lakh the liabilities. Yes, Madhav, you will get the value as rupees 13 per unit, and number of units outstanding would be 2 lakh. So this would give you the NAV per unit as rupees 13. So you need to consider the cash holding and the bank balance as an asset of the mutual fund. Okay, let's move further. So please take 2 minutes and read this question. Generally, such kind of question is asked in your paper. So here also you need to calculate the NAV, but you are given the value of the assets invested into the size of the issue. So please take 2 minutes first, read the question, and then we'll start solving it. Okay, so now the issue size is 10 lakh units of rupees 10 each, and then there are certain investments that have been made. Also, during the year, dividend on shares has been received, interest on all debt securities has been received, and you are given the year end market value of debentures and equity shares. So you have to find out the NAV when the operating expenses paid during the year are rupees 5 lakh, and then if dividend is distributed. So there are two parts of the question. You need to calculate NAV twice. Let's start with the solution. So first step, because we need to calculate the NAV, we need to calculate the value of the assets held by the mutual fund. So one thing to be noted here is that out of 100 lakh that has been raised from the mutual fund, the investment made is only 98 lakhs. So which means that the cash holding currently is 2 lakh rupees, because the entire amount raised has not been invested. So step one is calculation of the closing cash balance, and that is directly given to you. So that would be 100 lakh minus 98 lakh, and 2 lakh rupees would be the closing cash balance. This is also one of the assets held by the mutual fund. So now you calculate the value of assets held. So the first and foremost asset that will be considered is cash balance. ₹2 lakh. Sorry, just make a correction. This is the opening cash balance. Closing we need to calculate because we are receiving income during the year. So opening cash balance is ₹2 lakh. Then let's first add all the cash received during the year. You are receiving dividend, ₹12 lakh. And then you are receiving interest on all the debt securities. You are given three type of debt securities. So interest on government securities, 7% of ₹8 lakh would be 5,60,000. Then interest on 9% debentures, 45,000. Interest on 10% debentures is 50,000. So this is the cash flow, cash stream during the year. So this will give you the closing cash balance. See how much is it coming to? 5,000. See, yes. So 12, 17 lakh 60,000, 19 lakh 60,000 plus 95,000. So that gives you 10,51,000 as the closing cash balance. Please check you're getting this value. So now under step 3, you calculate the value of assets held. So starting with the cash balance, 10,51,000. Now we move to the value of the investments, starting with the equity shares. Now, equity shares were issued at 160, having a face value of ₹100, and now they are trading at 175%. So when you calculate the market value, it will be over the face value, which means that the equity shares, 50,000 equity shares are now trading at ₹175 per share. So you're seeing 175% of ₹100, and accordingly calculating the value of the equity holding in the mutual fund. So 50,000 into 175. That gives you the value as 87 lakh 50,000. The market value of the equity shares held. Then apart from that, we see that 10% debentures are now quoted at 90%. So 10% debentures which had a value of 5 lakh are now trading at 90%, which means they are trading at 4 lakh 50,000. The other two securities, 7% government securities, same value, and the unlisted debentures, again there won't be any change in the value as they are given to be unlisted. So 5 lakh. So this is the value of asset held, and you are also given that some operating expenses have been paid during the year. So here in the closing cash balance, you need to, I think I had already deducted, I have not written it here. You need to deduct the operating expenses here. That is giving you the closing cash balance. So this was 5 lakh and this has been adjusted here, and after this adjustment you're getting the closing cash balance. Yes, Madhav correctly pointed out, I had already deducted the operating expenses. I hadn't written it here. So since these expenses are already paid, so we are not showing them separately. We are only adjusting them in the cash outflows, which is giving you closing cash balance as 10 lakh 51,000. Now we need to add up the assets held in step 3. What is the total coming to? Please check. Because that would give us the NAV per unit. So please check the total. It is coming to 1 crore 15 lakh 51,000. So next we calculate the NAV per unit. So 11.551 per unit would be the NAV for part 1. Please check any of the steps which is not clear, any value which you don't understand. So in the second part of the question, you are distributing a dividend of 0.80, which means on the 10 lakh units, you have distributed a dividend 10 lakh units. Okay, so you have distributed a dividend of 0.80 per unit. This dividend, since distributed, will lower the closing cash balance. So you can directly make the adjustment there, or if you want, we can show it like this also. This part. So 8 lakh rupees has been distributed divided by the 10 lakh units held. So 10.71 per unit, 751. 1000. So rupees 10.751 per unit would be the NAV when you are distributing a dividend of rupees 8 lakh. 10.71, 7 lakh 1,000. So please check the calculations.